Hi and welcome back. In the previous demo, I discussed the concept of joins in SQL and also reviewed the types of joins in SQL. In this video, I'm specifically going to talk about the left join type, and I'm going to use an example in pgadmin to demonstrate how you can use a left join and why you need to use left join to combine two tables. So as a reminder, left joins or you use left joins when you want to uh, only use when you want to keep all of the data or values for your left table, which is the primary table, right? And then only combine those data from table 2 that have matching values with table 1. Let's talk about that in details in our practice. So I went ahead and created two dummy tables, data sets here to illustrate this example. The first one is student table 1. Student table 1 has 3 columns: student ID, name, and program. So hypothetically, just think about, let's pretend this is a table from a college or university students where we have student IDs, name of the student, which is not a complete name, but just take it as a complete name, and the program that they're associated with that student ID. And the second table is also from um, hypothetically from a school, but the only difference is that it has a grade besides student ID. So it's just the grade of those students. So what we're going to do is we're going to perform a left join statement or operation where we're going to combine table 1 as the table as the primary table or table on the left and table 2 as the table on the right. And what's going to happen is if we use a left join, we're going to retain all of these values, all of these records, and then we're going to keep only those records that match the student ID. And so remember, the primary key here, as you can see the screen, the primary key is the integer student ID. This is the primary key. So, and same thing with with table 2, student ID. These names are both identical because they're both they're both representing student ID for that specific table. So these two columns on both of these tables are actually relationship keys that will help us combine these two tables based on them. So let's get to it. We're going to write the joint statement. We're going to start with select. And so the first part of the statement is going to be uh, what would you like to bring for your first table or for your left table? I'm going to say bring everything from left table, right? So our left table again was which table? Student table 1. All right, once we do that, now we're going to specify the joint. So remember, this keyword here, left joint, makes a huge difference. So be careful what you put in here. So if you're going to do a right join, then right join. If you're going to inner join, you put an inner join. But since it's going to be a left join, we're going to use the keyword left join. And then we're going to specify the table on the right, or the secondary table, which is student table 2. Now, now that we uh, stated to SQL to select everything from the student table 1, the left table, and then perform a left join operation with student table 2, right? Now we have to uh, tell SQL, specify the SQL the parameter for this relationship. Okay, we want you to combine it, but what should be the parameter? What should be that next? What should be that relationship key that would connect these two tables? So in this case, we're going to say on, and this is where you're going to specify the two columns. So we're going to say on, again, put the first table, table on the left, which is sorry, student table 1, and then we're going to use the equal sign, which says which is saying if student table 1 is equal to sorry, I forgot to put the column name, student ID. So we're going to say combine the two tables and do a left join if the student ID from the student table 1 table is equal to student ID from student table 2. Simple as that. So with this, we specify our relationship parameter. Now we did it, let's go ahead and run it. There you go. And before I get into the details of the output here, I want to specify that join can be expanded into a lot of statements and and commands and appended to additional commands. In this video specifically, what I'm aiming to do is to um, introduce you to the very foundation of join in SQL, and this foundation can help you uh, append additional clauses to your join statements. So I'm just going to limit this to just picking up one table from left and then picking up another table from right and then joining them or combining them together and then specifying the two primary keys based on it. There you go. Now this is the output. So let's interpret the output. As I said to you at the beginning that we're using the left table as the primary table or student table 1. As you can see, these 3 columns belongs to student table 1. They're all there. Nothing is missing from here. There are 7 records, and you'll see there are 7 records here. So all of them are here, regardless. Now, the second table, which is student table 2, now you see that some of their values are not here. So how many values were uh, migrated here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Five records or 5 rows. But how many do we have actually? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So 7. So that means 2 are missing. Why is it missing? Because these two values, student IDs, don't match with the student ID here. So what are those two student IDs? So those two student IDs are 1 and 2. So if we don't have those student IDs, 1, 2, 3, 7, 8. So okay, it's 8 and 9. So since we don't have student ID 8 and 9 present in table on the left, in the primary table, then the result, the output would be null. So they were not brought over. Those two records, these two records, 8 and 9, 75 and 90 grade, were not combined here. Because why? We performed a left join where we specified that bring everything from the left table, which it did, and then bring only those records or rows that have a matching value based on the primary key with the primary key on the first table or on the left table. This is it. This is all what it's telling. Now let's say if we wanted to and now if we wanted to specify which one we wanted to put, instead of having all 3 of these here, right? Or instead of having all 5 of these here, we can specify here those columns that we need to bring here. So we don't have to have the student ID repeated in both places. Then we can say, bring me student ID, but then we have to specify what table should it be from, right? So in that case, it will be table student underscore table 1 and then put student ID. Otherwise, if you put student ID without specifying the table, then it's going to be confused and it's going to give you an error and say, which table would you like me to bring the student ID from? So that's important to understand. And then we can say, bring me the name. Uh, remember, anything that, since you're calling these columns from student table one, anything that does not that does not exists in student table one, you have to specify the prefix of that table name here. So in this case, we don't have to put the student table here because the student ID is already present in student table one. So what we would like to do is we would like to bring student ID, right? And we would like to bring the name, and then we would like to bring name, so ID, name, and we would like to bring the program, and what else? And then we like to bring uh, now from table two, because we're calling from table one. If you put grade here, it's not going to work because there's no column labeled grade present in table one. So now this is where you're gonna have to specify that that table name here, which is going to be student table 2.grade. So same thing here. Let's go ahead and run this. All right, so it says student ID is ambiguous. Yep, so we have to specify the student ID, sorry, student table dot student ID, and that should do it. Student table dot name, student table one dot program. All right, let's run this. Up student table one. There you go. Now you see that now, as you can see, the output table has some columns that we really don't need them to be mentioned twice here. For example, the student ID. So that's where you need to specify here on the first select statement that what exact columns would you like to see here. So you can specify them here. Otherwise, if you put the star, then obviously you're going to get all of the columns for the tables. So you can specify them here. And if you don't know how to use, if you don't know how to do a selection of columns or selection per column based on columns, please refer to my video where I have this explanation for you. But this is it. I hope that it's a good start to use left joins, and please look for another video where I'll be talking about the rest of join types in SQL. Thank you for your time.